Hey guys, it's Amy. Thanks for watching. Today's video is going to be a brand new tag that I'm creating, even if I'm the only person who does it. I have been watching videos on how I did my makeup in high school, and I had the idea to do how I did my makeup before YouTube. Like, not necessarily before YouTube existed, but before you started watching YouTube tutorials and teaching yourself how to do things. So this may not apply to some people because YouTube has always existed to younger people, and makeup artists, of course, went to school for it or, taught themselves before they even went to school. YouTube may not have helped everybody, but I know YouTube has helped a huge amount of people to learn how to do their makeup. So I'm going to show you guys what I used to wear when I was in college and in my 20s. So that was well before I started watching YouTube. I've only been watching YouTube, I'd say, about, I don't know, 5 years, and even then, like, I've only been watching it consistently for 2 years. So I just thought this would be a fun video. But if you want to see how I did my makeup before YouTube, just keep on watching. This box with a little butterfly on it that you can't really see. It's a very small box. This fits everything and more of what I used to wear. It has everything in it. I started out with high-end makeup because that is what my mom wore. She always took me to the Lancome and the Clinique counters, and my phone just went off. I just realized that I need to start silencing it. Let me do that right now. So yeah, she always took me to those counters, and she also took me to another counter, which was called Prescriptives, and I don't know if anybody remembers it, but it was a great makeup line. They color matched you perfectly. They did it based on your undertones, obviously, but they did it in a different way. Like, I'm yellow-orange, and then my mom's on the opposite side of the spectrum at blue-red. And then they'd pick your shade and your undertone and pick a perfect foundation for you. Prescriptives disappeared from department stores. And then they were gone for like 5 years or something like that. And then they came back, and they're just an online company now with a very select amount of items. They have like their best sellers, I guess. So anyway, what I'm going to do is just get into it. I used the Prescriptives foundation. This was in my 20s. In college, I used this really nasty, and this is still from college. It's disgusting. This cream, it's like cracked. It's so dry and old. I just dug it out of the trash. But my mom actually showed me this flat foundation brush. And I had a Prescriptives one, but I don't know what happened to it. This one's just an e.l.f. professional one. So the dollar ones. And I'm trying to decide, since I don't have the Prescriptives foundation anymore, I'm trying to decide which one of these is a better match. My Urban Decay Naked Skin or my Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. And I'm thinking the Naked Skin. I'll go with that one. So I didn't use primer or anything because, well, actually I did. I used the DHC silicone primer later on in my 20s. I did use primer, but I don't have a silicone primer. I have an illuminating one. I have, oh, you know what? I have a Smashbox sample. So I will use that to prime my face. No, I'm going to hate this foundation or this primer with a passion, but I'm going to use it anyway. And it's not going to work well with this naked skin because the naked skin is watery. This does feel really good. Then I just always dumped it out on the back of my hand because there was no pump. So I just got this on and painted it. I used to have a lot more redness in my face because I had undiagnosed lupus. And so I had the butterfly rash that looked like rosacea. So I basically looked like how Casey Holmes looks without her makeup, which is still absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I looked like that all the time. And unlike Casey, I did not know how to cover up that redness. So it wasn't until I went on medicine, and it was also from anxiety as well, but it wasn't until I went on medicine that that redness disappeared for the most part. And this is the worst brush ever. I don't know how I could have. The Prescriptives one had to have been better quality. Yeah, this is awful. I have to use my hands because that was my other tool. My only other tool was my hands. So I'm just gonna blend the rest of it in. It could be not mixing well with the primer. That's actually what I'm betting on because of this streakiness. So the next thing I did was my eyeshadow. And I used this Clinique Quad, and it's in Bamboo Pink. So this is what it looks like inside. These are the colors. And I barely ever touched this brown because I didn't know how to use it in the outer corner at all. And I actually used the little sponge and the little brush. It still has the plastic on it. I always kept the plastic on. I don't know why. This is my eyeshadow brush. So yeah, I'm going to take the lightest pink shade, and I always put that under my brow. At least I knew to do that. I did not use eye primer because I don't think that they even existed. Okay, next I'm going to take this awesome little brush and take this dark pink and put that in my crease. I probably didn't clean it up. And it's time for the sponge and this grayish color, grayish silver, and that goes all over the lid. And that was the extent of my eyeshadow. I didn't put anything underneath or do a highlight other than that light pink that I did under my brow bone. I just didn't know to do it. The next thing that I did was my brows, and I had a Maybelline brow powder. It came with an angled brush, which actually wasn't the worst brush, but I have since gotten rid of it, and I've since gotten rid of the powder because I have other powders and there was no reason to keep that powder when I was moving. I only just got rid of it like in October. So I'm going to use this, the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks, and it has 3 different shades. I'm going to use the darkest shade, and then I'm going to use this really cheap angled brush because it's pretty similar to the one that I used to use. And this was a lot harder back in the day because I didn't have my eyebrows microbladed. So, and my eyebrows were so thin. Oh my gosh. So thin. I haven't used a powder in my eyebrows in forever, so I kind of forgot how. Not too horrible. Let me get the other one finished. Well, it's not exactly fair because this powder is so much better than the Maybelline powder, but it's what I have. And the brush that I used to use was fatter. It wasn't just a really thin brush. It was fatter, so I could basically take it and cover it in powder and draw along my brows, and I'd be done because that's how thin my brows were. My picture on my channel here, my brows are way thinner in that picture because that picture was taken like 4 years ago. Anyway, brows are done. Okay, now we go to the amazing CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones, which is like draping. This one is more kind of a contour shade and a blush shade and a highlight shade, but it's still kind of pinky and it's not translating that well on camera. But yeah, it's more draping than contouring, but I used to do this in college. So I would use the brush, and again, I kept the little thingy on it. I'd use the brush and blend that in there, and then I'd use this guy. And stupidly, I used the same brush for all of it. And that's what I did with my cheeks. So let me get the other side finished. And if I didn't do that, I used this lovely brush that is splayed out all over and just looks absolutely horrible. It's a Mary Kay blush brush, and it came in a little duo, like a day to night kind of thing. It was like a lighter pink and then a darker pink, but I just always mixed the 2 colors together and put that on my cheeks. So I don't know, if I didn't do the instant cheekbones, I would use the Mary Kay blush. All that is left is mascara. And I don't really curl my lashes now. If I do, I do it after I put the mascara on, which I know is the worst thing to do. But if I curl them before, it's a disaster trying to put the mascara on because it gets all over my eyelids. So I'm going to use these that I've never used before. I just bought them because they were rose gold and I thought they were pretty. So they're pretty cheap. I don't want to use my good ones because I wouldn't have had good ones back then. Ow! Okay, that was an experience. And I used the Lancome or Lancome, whatever you want to say, Definicils or Definicils, I don't know, mascara. And I don't know if that was a lengthening or a volumizing one. If it defined them, I mean, it could be either. So I'm going to use these mascaras I've never used before. My grandma got them for me for Christmas. They're by Beauty Concepts. And this guy is lengthening, and this guy is volumizing. So I'm going to use the volumizing one first, and then the lengthening one real quick, like on the tips afterward. And then I will be done with my makeup. And oh my gosh, I have like no color to my face. It's ridiculous. Ooh, it's like a little baby wand. Okay, now the lengthening. This is actually something I used to do in college. I used to coat the tops of my lashes. I don't do that so much anymore. Okay, that did absolutely nothing. I'm just going to use this lengthening one on the bottom. My face kind of hurts from using that brush from the CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones because it's just so rough. I don't know how I used to use that every single day. Alright, now you guys are probably going to kick out of this. This was my finishing touch. The very last thing that I did, because obviously no setting spray, no facial mist, nothing like that. And my eyes actually aren't horrible. I don't know. I mean, now I would foil the lid shadow for sure, but this used to be my favorite palette. Oh my gosh. This doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. Anyway, I didn't wear lipstick. I didn't start wearing lipstick until about 2 years ago. I had one Clinique lipstick that my mom gave me, and that was that. I still have it. It's the only lipstick that I would ever wear, and whenever I wore it, my lips would get really, really dry, so I hated wearing it. So instead, I wore Dr. Pepper Lip Smacker because it's tinted and it's a lip balm. And it smells divine. It smells so good. It smells like bottle caps, like the candy bottle caps. See, it adds a little bit of pink. So there we go. That is the finished look of how I did my makeup before YouTube. And let's see how it all really looks. I feel like I have no makeup on. I feel like I just put some mascara on and that's it. Mascara and lip balm. But anyway, that wraps that up. I hope you enjoyed, and anybody is free to do this, of course. I would like people to do it. I don't know. I think it's a fun idea. Obviously, or I would not have done it. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, please. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Peace out.